guys, I had so much fun doing my January 2020 favorites that I wanted to continue it and do the February 2020 favorites. So if you missed my first video, please go check it out. But the main thought process or purpose of this is I try a lot of new things, specifically like a lot of new food products or a lot of new recipes, and I just kind of wanted a place to be able to really share like what I consider like the best of what I've tried. You know, what are the recipes or different things that have stuck with me through the month, so that maybe you guys could know it's like, okay, she likes a lot of things, but this is the one I really should try. So I hope that these will be a good resource for you. And then I just threw in a couple of my other favorites in different categories as well, because I have opinions about things and I like to share them with you guys. Alright, so let's get started. Well, first, actually, I'm wearing my Polynesian sweatshirt that I got at Walt Disney World when we stayed at the Polynesian Resort. The only time we've ever stayed on Disney property, and it's just bringing back all sorts of fond memories for Walt Disney World. I miss Disney World a lot. Alright, now let's actually start into it. Favorite recipe. Now, this might be surprising because you may know I'm not into breakfast. Breakfast is definitely my least favorite meal of the day. Don't like it a lot. But, oh, and it's really hard because like I can't eat eggs anymore, and yeah, I can't really eat eggs, so it's really hard. But I found a recipe that I tried that was amazing. It was the banana muffin recipe, and I believe it was by WW Pound Dropper. It was so good. We did make a little bit of adjustments to it. Actually, Eric, my husband, had some suggestions about it. So I will ask him to please link the video where we make the banana muffins down below, because I think that those little changes we made to it was amazing. So this is so good. It just made our whole house smell really divine. And I had different people in my family try it, like my dad and my mom. My dad absolutely loved it. He said it was one of the best recipes I've ever made, because sometimes I'll make him try it, but he's like pretty picky. But he loved it. And it is really awesome. It was really simple. It was really fast to put together, and it was low in points. I want to say like 1 or 2 points. And my dad is not doing Weight Watchers or anything like that, but he is diabetic, and this uses like sugar substitutes and things like that, and he loves banana bread. But banana bread, like typically when you make it, it has a lot of sugar in it, so it's not really good for people with diabetes. But this is a little bit of a better option for him, and he could still get that. So it was just really exciting that it's good for me and my mom on Weight Watchers, and my dad because it has like lower glycemic index. Eric still couldn't have it because it is not keto friendly or low carb friendly. But that is the recipes. So the next category is food products, you know, so just easy, simple thing. I love this. This is so dangerous to have though, because this does not have, these are Lay's white cheddar poppables, and they don't have a ton of carbs. So Eric steals them. He says he doesn't, but he totally, every once in a while, he'll have like 1 or 2 of them. And then I'll be like, because there's not a lot. You know how chip bags are. It drives me crazy, but this is just standard chip bag, you know, like they don't, oh, this is not so bad. It's like filled up to right here. Anyway, for Weight Watchers, for 20 pieces or 20 chips, and the chips are maybe about this big. Like it's a little, I would say a little bit larger than a quarter. And they're 3 points for about 20 pieces, which I think is great. It's so good for lunch. This white cheddar is a really just solid flavor. Typically, I don't really care for like cheese flavored thing that's not cheese. That sounds weird, but like I don't really like cheese flavored chips, which Eric loves them, but I generally don't. But these I feel like are pretty mild, but they still have like a nice flavor. My favorite of the flavors that I've tried are the jalapeno ones, but those are so hard to find. But if you find jalapeno ones, I really, really like them. They also have a barbecue flavor. That's probably my least favorite, but still is solid. But I really like barbecue chips, but sometimes I could get picky on barbecue chips. Anyway, so please grab yourself these. They won't hurt your points bank or your points daily allowance, but they are so good, and it's nice and on the go, and they're chips, right? So they're awesome. Okay, another thing, so excited about. So sometimes I try to steer away from like stereotypically not healthy foods like chips or other things, but I have taken a new perspective this month and being like, you know what, if I could fit it into my daily points, I'm going to eat it because I have points and I could use them however I want because I am the boss. Anyway, that was weird, sorry. And so French fries is another, sorry, this is kind of an open bag. So these are French fries I get from Trader Joe's. They are handsome cut potato fries, and for 3 ounces you could get 3 ounces of French fries, which I feel like is an okay serving. French fries, one of the great loves of my life, like very super deep, we go way back. And so French fries are something I have a little problem, maybe a big problem with portion control for those. So yes, even with being like a year on Weight Watchers, I still have a problem with portion control for French fries. But if you weigh it out, I feel like 4 points for a side, even though I am wanting more because these are really delicious. I highly recommend just cooking them in the oven. I typically have to cook mine a little bit longer than the recommended, like maybe 2 or 3 minutes longer than the recommended amount, but I do like my fries pretty crispy. I think they crisp up pretty well in the oven, and I just seasoned it with Lowry's seasoning salt. So good, really simple. And I have been really enjoying pairing these with burgers, homemade burgers. And I will do 96% lean ground beef. It's so good, and it's really low in points. For 4 ounces, it's 2 points. And honestly, I'm thinking of making burger and fries later on this week as part of what I eat in it, or just for my life. And I'm actually considering like not having 4 ounces because 4 ounces is kind of a lot. Like it's it's like a big part of me, and I really like you know, the In-N-Out style of hamburgers, like that. I would like the like nice thin. So I might just try it with like maybe 2 ounces or stuff and get the points even lower, because I don't need that like hamburger crunch. Anyway, so back to the fries. They're so delicious and really good, and I love that we could get them all crunchy, and 4 points is really not bad for a side in my opinion. Okay, those are the 2 like food product items that I would recommend, and that is it for the food section. So now going on to some more fun things, and the book, my favorite book that I read this month. Let's see if you guys could see it. Yeah. Okay, so this book I read, it's called The Unhoneymooners, and it is by Christina Lauren. So I don't have the actual physical book because I got it for free through my library's app Libby onto my Kindle. So I just showed you on my iPad so you could see it in color. This is a really fun book. Basically, it is about a sister who has a twin. The twin is getting married, and her sister is able to get like a free, I think it's like 10-day or something like that, all-inclusive honeymoon on Maui to Hawaii. But things happen, they get very sick, and everybody in the bridal party gets like horribly sick except for 2 people, her twin, who is Olive, the main character, and then I can't remember, and then the groom's brother. He's the main character and I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, but Olive thinks does not like the brother, and they're kind of like enemies, you know. And so the sister, Amy, who is getting married, gets very sick, can't go on the honeymoon, was like, Amy, you're my twin, which I love. I love twin things. I was obsessed with Sister, love Mary Kate and Ashley. Anything that's like twin and switching places, I'm all into. So basically, she takes her sister's place and goes on a honeymoon with this person she doesn't like. And that's the basic premise of it. And it is like a romantic love story and stuff, but it's just like, it was really fun, lighthearted. I like the characters. They did a pretty good job explaining it. The premise is a little bit like difficult to believe. You know what, it felt like I was reading a romantic comedy from like the early 2000s, or maybe yeah, I think probably the early 2000s, which I love. Like, I wish that they made more movies like that now, because I just miss like fun, light-hearted, you like the characters, you just want to see them go on a little adventure and don't think too hard about it, because then you could find some problems with it. But yeah, it's really good. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It wasn't perfect. I don't know if a book like that, unless like the characters was super great, I would ever give 5. So, but it was really fun read, really light read. I would almost say this is more like a summary type of read, but it was excellent. Okay, next category is something that I like for the home. This is actually something that Eric totally picked up for me because he saw it and he thought I would like it. This, I don't know technically what it's called. We call it the chopper. And this is excellent. So I'm sure you guys can figure out what it is. So you put like vegetables or anything that you need chopped into little squares here, and you just close it and chop it. One thing is though, that you really, for some things, I have to like really put my body weight on it, so I have to put it on like a lower table and like kind of put it on. Eric has no problem chopping these things, so I make him do it. But this is really easy to clean. Just throw it in the dishwasher, and then it has this little thing that you can remove, so any of the little residue or particle, I don't know what you want to call it, that gets stuck up in here, is really nice. It makes it just makes things very quick to chop different things, especially like for me, because I'm still working on getting faster at chopping. So I think he said this was $15 or $20 at Target. If I could find it, I will link it below, but it is excellent. Oh, and it has like a hole in this like back part or whatever, so it was great because I was using it to make soup, and then it's just like you just chop it up, dump, chop up the next thing, dump it in, and so it just makes it fast and easy for that one. All right, so beauty is the next category, and I am going to start with something, I don't know if this is like considered beauty. I don't think it's beautiful, but let me show you. So I am talking about this. So I got some like fitness rings off of Amazon because my rings, because yay, losing weight, Weight Watcher working, my rings have been like slipping off, and it's getting to the point, especially when I'm taking a shower, where it's like gotta clench my hands so my rings don't completely fall off. And what I am using it as you could see, is like I'm using it as more like a stopper, you know, so it's not like I'm not using it as a replacement, because for some reason, like I originally was just going to replace it. That's what Eric did for his, but I just didn't want to take off my rings because it was making me sad. But it's working perfectly well as this, like my rings still like spin around a lot because they're not welded together. And so sometimes I like, if I'm grabbing my hand, I'll stab myself with this part of the ring, but I'm kind of used to it. Yeah, so if you are in the process of losing weight like I am, I would highly recommend this. I think it was like a 10-pack or 8-pack for maybe like $8 or something on Amazon. And I also I looked because I saw there was a display at Target, and it was a lot more expensive on Target. So I'll link what I down below. I wish they had just like a completely clear one. This one, I don't know if you could tell, but it is clear, but it has some like blue sparkles in it, but whatever. I'm not that picky for it. All right, 2 things I have used up for makeup. Oh my gosh, I love using up makeup. It makes me like, I feel so proud of myself, and I feel like, okay, I have some definite opinions when I like use up makeup. So, oh, and I'm wearing what I'm using because I used the last one today. All right, please, sorry that it is weird or it is ugly. So hello, focus on this. This is the IT Cosmetics CC Cream Illumination, and I believe that this is in the shade Fair. Everything is all rubbed off. But this is, I think, the 2nd or 3rd bottle I've had. I really enjoy it. I think the color works pretty well for my skin tone, and it has good enough coverage. Like, I'm not looking for like a full coverage thing. Basically, I have like red blotching. Well, you guys know I film plenty without wearing any makeup, you know. So you know what my skin is like. So I just honestly try to ideally I would like to even things out. I don't have a lot of things I like super want to cover for this one, but it does say it's full coverage, and I love that it has SPF of 50, and then it also has some like skin benefit things, but I don't have opinions because I am not educated enough if those work or well or anything like this. But what I wanted to say about this is I really like the amount of coverage. I like how it looks, because it, for the most part, it looks pretty good, like if I wash my face and if I use exfoliating. Sometimes if I forget to use my like face scrub, sometimes it could like almost get cakey in like this little area. But if I like, but it's because my like skin is like flaky and dry in this area sometimes. So if I use my face scrub and like, I just use a basic oatmeal face scrub every once in a while, then it takes care of the problem. And I find that it lasts just fine all day, even at Disneyland. I do like to use the Urban Decay all-nighter setting spray, and I find that that helps keep it, and I really don't have a problem with it. I am not repurchasing this at this time. I'm going to try some other ones out for a couple of reasons. First of all, this is expensive, and I honestly would just like to, I want a perfect drugstore price things, because I'm not a fancy person, so I don't really care about fancy things. But the thing is that I've noticed is maybe for the past 2 to 3 months, towards the evening, my face gets itchy. And it probably is because it's probably getting old, is probably what it is I think. Like towards the end of the night, my face gets really itchy and it gets irritated, and I think this is what is irritating it. And so I guess I just don't use it fast enough for it not to get itchy on my face towards the last couple of months. And that's the main problem, where it's like, I want to get my money's worth, you know, like I want to be able to use it all in time without making my face itchy. But I do really like it, and I could see myself buying this again after trying different ones, and if I just don't find one that I really like more than this. Yeah, so it is really good. Alright, the next thing is Butter Bronzer. This is in light. So I'll open it and I'll show you how much I've used. This is how much I have left. So obviously I still have some left, but I'm calling it and saying that I've used it all, because it is so annoying. Like when I was putting my makeup on today, it's so annoying to like try to go around the rims to like, and it takes forever. So I'm like, you know what, I've had this probably for years, and I really like it. This is in the light shade, so I'm wearing it, like you could kind of see it here. I'm not good at makeup, but so I really like to use it as a bronzer, which I think makes a huge difference. Until I started watching like beauty makeup, I was like, I'm pale, like why do I need bronzer, you know, where it's like, you do, it helps a lot. And then also I have been using it because I'm trying really, really hard to go through it, you know. I've been using it as like my eyeshadow, so I'll like put it, like I'll go like put it on my eye, and then I'll even like use a different, like I'll use different brush for my eyeshadow and then like the bronzer area. But then I'm also like using it to color in my eyebrows, because once again, if you've seen my many videos of me without makeup, you guys know that like my eyebrows just disappear. Like it's like doo, and then disappear, and it turns like super blonde, white, see-through. And I think that this actually is a really, really good color for me for my eyebrows, because it doesn't look that different from my hair, right? Because I find that it's hard, I just have a hard time finding a good shade for eyebrow stuff to match my hair. Plus I cannot take a long time on my eyebrows. I cannot take a long time on my makeup because I get bored, and so I can't do that, and I stop caring. All right, yeah, but I would highly recommend all three of those things. I really like them. The bronzer, once again, it has lasted forever, but I would absolutely repurchase, but I'm trying a new one just because I've been using this one for 3 years, and I just want to have fun, okay, and try something new. All right, next category, something I'm listening to. I'm a big Survivor nerd. I love Survivor, and I have been listening for years now to this podcast. It is called Rob Has a Podcast, and this is Rob's sister Nino. He was on the Amazon season of Survivor, then he was also on Survivor All-Star. He has built himself a little podcast empire where he talks all things Survivor. He'll interview past Survivor contestants. Sometimes he'll have exit interviews with like current people on the season. He'll have like a lot of, he's built a really fun community of people that are on his podcast, and he's an excellent host. And yes, and it's interesting because like he wasn't one of my favorite people to watch, you know, on Survivor. And so it's so interesting because I think he's done an excellent job. And it's kind of nice to be like, okay, I saw this character on TV and I didn't really like necessarily care for the character that much, you know, didn't really connect. But then you get to see the person like, or hear the person like 10-15 years later, and then you could be like, oh, I really like this person. Like, it's just a good reminder of like, people change, people mature, and what you see on TV is not necessarily like the whole person. It's a great podcast. There is so much content. Like, I listen to it all of the time. It's really good, it's really fun, it's really funny, and it's not all Survivor. He has like a whole community where he'll do things like News AF, which is like funny news stories throughout the week, like not serious, different things, and it's just really fun. And one episode that I really loved and it really like touched my heart was he's been doing this for 10 years, and he's been able to make it his career and be able to provide for his family with this. And so he had a podcast. It was I think maybe a couple hours long, where he described his journey to be able to basically make a business and make a life for himself in this field. And there were lots of ups and downs, and it was just so encouraging because you guys know, like, Eric and I are really working hard on trying to make our own life and be able to provide based on our like creative business and creative things. And so it was just really inspirational. And I am going to link the podcast episode, or I'll ask Eric to, down below. You might not appreciate it that much if you don't really know, if you don't really care about Survivor that much, basically. But it meant a lot to me. So just in case you do, if there's any other huge Survivor fans, please link it down below. Okay, what I'm watching. So I have been watching recently Love is Blind, Netflix. Basically, the premise of this is it's a reality TV show, and then they have like male and female contestants in what they call pods, which are like basically little rooms, and then they're like dating and talking to each other through a wall. They can't see each other, and then if it goes well, they will propose and they get to see each other, and then so forth, and then eventually see if they could get married and see if like love is blind, like can you fall in love with someone just based on talking to them. And anyway, I really liked it. It like, you guys know I'm a sucker for reality TV shows, but it has been getting a lot of hype on social media, and I am confused because I think it's like I would consider it like a mid-level love reality TV show. And so I'm very confused as to why everybody's so excited. Like, I really like it, but it's like, guys, have you not seen 90 Day Fiancé or Married at First Sight? I also like The Bachelor, but I have a huge soft spot, so I'll take that out. But like, I would say if you saw Love is Blind, which I do think it's good, I think it's just a little bit slow, or maybe I feel like it might get better and better as the seasons go along, is what I think about it. But check out, well, for sure check out 90 Day Fiancé, because that is all sorts of craziness. Or Married at First Sight for similar shows that I would recommend. But Love is Blind is still good, and I did enjoy watching it. Alright, so last section is memories. So a fun memory that I had that I really enjoyed, and we didn't actually film this at all, is that my sister-in-law and niece, so Stephanie and Abby, came down because Abby had a softball tournament near us, and it was just the two of them. So usually Joel, her husband, and then Griffin, our nephew, their son, also come along, but he had like baseball and he had other stuff, so they stayed up in Washington and the two of them came down, and it was really nice. It was very, very, very short because they had to get back up to go to school for the weekend, but it was a softball tournament. She's 13, and I don't know what it was, but I think she could, wow, stop. I think she appreciated that we came and supported her, and I think maybe it was a little bit more fun that it was just focused maybe just on her, you know, like her brother wasn't there, and so it was just her. So she was really like smiley and happy and things like that. And also she played so well. She was one of the like main pitchers, and it's just so cool to see her dedication and to see her like improve and really handle herself and handle the pressure and not give up. And just like fight through different things. So it was really, really special to be able to see her do well and just to see her like grow as a person. And I care about those kids a lot. They're really special and so talented. Anyway, that's it for my February 2020 favorites. I really enjoy sharing this with you guys, and if it goes well, I'll see you in March. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button, and I really, really, really appreciate your support. So thank you again. Bye.